What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Mainly Movies, the channel where we talk about, well, mainly movies. So welcome to my Cinema Classics series. This is going to be the first episode of many. A series that I'm going to be doing on this channel where I talk about movies that are classified as classic cinema, or movies that I feel like are classic cinema in my opinion. Movies that could range from the 20s and 30s to something like the 90s or early 2000s. Time in the Cinema Classics series isn't going to be much of a factor. It's going to be more about how I feel each film kind of puts itself out there in cinema history. And today, as you can see, we have the criterion for 12 Angry Men. Although we are not going to be talking about 12 Angry Men, we're going to be talking about a film which is directed by the same master, as I like to call him. Although I've only seen two of his films, but these two films have proven to me that this man is a genius. This man is Sidney Lemet. And as you can tell, he has directed 12 Angry Men, but he has also directed another film which we are going to be talking today on the very first episode of the Cinema Classics series. And this movie is called Network. So Network is a beautifully stunning satire, a satire that worked very well for me. In my opinion, probably one of the best satirical comedies I have watched. In a way, this film holds up. I know the news, or the Channel 6, well, sorry, not Channel 6 news, the 6 o'clock news, isn't that relevant anymore. Although it still is, it's not as much as it was in, say, 1979 when this film was, sorry, not 1979, 1976, my apologies. 1976 when this film was made, it's not as relevant as it was back then, but I don't see that, I don't see the resemblance by the news in today's age. I see it by the media, just the media in general. Now, the story of this film, I apologize if you hear some sounds in the background, because I am right by the window, which has a lot of birds and sounds going on outside. It's pretty windy out there today, but anyway. But the story of this movie follows a 6 o'clock news anchorman who in a week is retiring, and he says on his last his last day on the job, his last ever his last day basically, he says he's going to commit suicide. And this sparks a massive I guess you can say controversy in the media. And they talk about it, and the network basically puts him back on the air and kind of forces him to apologize. And in a way he does, but then he ends up going on a bit more of a rant and using provocative words, and that was their most successful news, I guess. That was their most successful episode in a way. I don't know what you really call the news, but that particular one sparked a lot of people's interest because of these crazy things that the character Peter Finch plays, which is, his name is Howard Beale. And he, like I said, he says all this crazy stuff, And that's where Faye Dunaway's character is, and she's interested in getting the ratings up. She's not really interested in what people have to say. It's more about just getting the views up on her network, and she thinks that she can do it by creating a specific show, or creating an individual show for Howard Beale's character and exploiting him on his own show, where he just kind of raves on like a madman, talking about democracy and all sorts of crazy world problems in a way. And in a way, it is very successful. And Howard Beale's character has a friend played by William Holden, the great William Holden, who does not want to see his friend exploited at all on air. But nobody listens to him because they're getting the ratings up. Which, I mean, this plot was just, it gripped me ever since, Howard Beale first started going crazy on air. This movie, that's when the movie kind of hooked me. Although it did hook me from scene one, when William Holden and Peter Finch's character are both just drunk on the streets, and then it cuts to them in the bar. It's completely silent, and he just says, "I'm going to kill myself." That's when the movie hooked me. But, I mean, the performances in this film are incredible. Both William Holden and Peter Finch are incredible, especially Peter Finch. This is a very extreme kind of performance he has to take on, because he has to say a lot of things that I could probably guess that Peter Finch himself wouldn't even agree on. But his character just says a lot of things on air, and I mean, he just enjoys doing it. His character enjoys doing it because, I mean, he gets to act like a madman and get paid for it. And Faye Dunaway's character, who's exploiting him, she's also incredible. And towards the end, when the movie takes more of a serious turn, it has almost a midlife crisis theme to it. That's when the movie also started to hook me. About the end of Act 2, this movie started to hook me even more. And yeah, this it's not, in my opinion, as good as 12 Angry Men, but it is very close. This was also one of the first Arrow Academy videos that I watched. As you can see, it's in the lovely Arrow Academy. I have a few Arrow Academy videos. I also have Arrow Video. If one of you in the comments would like to explain the difference, although I could probably just Google it, but I mean, if you would like to explain the difference, that would be really good, because I have not yet watched an Arrow video. I have a couple of them, but the thing is, the Arrow video movies that I have already seen, so I haven't really. I wanted to watch movies that I haven't watched yet, the movies that I haven't gotten around to watching, and so I haven't really bothered to open them and watch them yet because I have already seen them. But I got 3 Arrow Academy films. I got Network, another movie which I will not mention because it will be next month's Have You Seen It review, and the other film that I got was The Long Goodbye by Robert Altman, which I have not yet seen, but may be a movie in this series that I'm doing, this Cinema Classics series. But yeah, Network is a brilliantly funny film. It's not slapstick. It's not lowbrow comedy. It's very I don't know. It's very satirical. I guess that's what you want to say. The comedy is more satirical than anything else, and in a way that's very done. If it's done right, like this film is, that's when it becomes hilarious. And the movie is hilarious. I found myself laughing quite a bit, especially with Howard Beale just ranting on air. Some of the stuff he says is hilarious. And Sidney Lemet, as a director, although I haven't seen Fail-Safe, which is a movie I'm yet to get on the collection, I just want to keep watching more of his films. I just want to. I also have the movie Serpico, which I have not yet watched. But after watching these two films, I'm very interested in to see what he has in store for me there. But yeah, this is just kind of an unedited review. I didn't really even want to, in these videos, I don't even really want to show my face too much. It's just, I want to have a conversation, I guess, about each and every one of these cinema classic films. Just beautiful films. I just got done watching Tokyo Story, which is another film that I might do. I don't have a physical copy of that film. That's why I haven't. I would have done that as my first cinema classic series, but I haven't got a physical copy of that film. So yeah. But Network. I'm trying to think of what else I can say about the film, because I did watch it last Thursday for the first time. So some things are very vague, but a lot of things are very vivid, because this movie does stand out, especially the performances. The way that the movie looks almost feels like I am watching some sort of TV program, which that isn't a negative at all. That it works for the film. Not always. A lot of the time, it does feel like you're watching a film, like you're watching a movie, but it does have some sort of kind of TV a feeling to the movie, which is something that I find very, very, very great and very useful for the theme that this movie's going for. It's yeah, there are many great scenes in this film, and it's definitely a film that I'm going to rewatch 100%, because it was very funny. There's a few people that I know that I would recommend this to, like people that I actually know. But as to you guys, I definitely recommend this film. If you're a fan of Sidney Lemet, if you've seen Fail-Safe, 12 Angry Men, or Serpico and have not yet seen this film, I definitely recommend this film. But if you haven't seen any of these films, I do suggest starting with maybe 12 Angry Men or Serpico, because they are 12 Angry Men. You can understand his method of filmmaking, and then Network is definitely a film that if you're interested in just watching a comedy or some sort of satirical film, then this is right up your alley. That's if you haven't seen Network. If you have seen Network, please in the comments below let me know what you think, because I'm very interested to know. But yeah, this is my first Cinema Classic series. This is episode 1, talking about the 1976 classic satire Network, directed by Sidney Lemet, starring Faye Dunaway, William Holden, Peter Finch, and Robert Duvall, who was really good in the film as well. But yeah guys, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and a comment, and feel free to subscribe. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.